Welcome back, everyone. My name is Jason Berghoff, Executive Director at the Greater Ottawa Home Builders Association. Hopefully you're tuning in for the third part of three discussions on Ottawa's new home housing market. I think you get a lot of context if you listen to parts 1 and 2 before you get to this one. But if for those who didn't, Cheryl, perhaps you'd like to introduce yourself.
My name is Cheryl Rice. I'm president of PMA Brethour here in Ottawa. I'm responsible for the Ottawa region, and I work with a team of professionals focused on the new home market here in Ottawa in partnership with GOHBA. We collect and monitor new home market data, and we provide this data to various stakeholders in the city. We are also a brokerage, and we likewise monitor the resale market as resale and new homes tend to go hand in hand. Resale does bad, new homes might hurt a little bit. So this is our core business, and we love what we do.
And you're an excellent partner with the industry for sure. So the very first thing we're looking at is the location of new home sales in June this current year. We've got South End, West End, East End, Central. Could you give us kind of a more elaboration on what those areas actually contain?
Sure. So South, West, East, Central. In Ottawa South, that would comprise areas like Barrhaven, Leitrim, even Kempville. Those are kind of the key areas extending south of the city. Eastbound, we've got Orleans, obviously, which generates the majority of sales. But there's Embrun, Russell, and a couple others out that way. And then in the west, we've got Canada and Stittsville being the predominant regions out there. We also, I believe, have some monitoring going on even in Carleton Place. So wherever our builders that we focus on in Ottawa, if they go to even further outlying areas, sometimes we will monitor their sales as well. And then Ottawa Central, obviously, is where if you take a drive downtown, you'll see all the cranes in the buildings. It's, predominantly, Old Ottawa East, Centre Ottawa, down in the market, Westboro, all of that is considered downtown Ottawa.
But is Central everything inside the Greenbelt?
Yes.
Which we do expect sort of like there's hot pockets inside, but those will eventually kind of shift.
Exactly.
Yeah, as new development begets development, right?
Yes, of course.
Those hot areas of the city kind of move around as they get more popular. So as we move to kind of looking at sales by area from last year to this year, virtually no change, right? Again, the South has kind of got that 50% dominance. Which will be an ongoing theme, I think, for the other charts that we'll kind of look at. What is it about the south end of Ottawa where there's been so much activity and continues to kind of be the majority of place where people are moving to?
Yeah, and actually, Ottawa South has been the dominant player for as long as I've been with PMA, and I've been with PMA for 8 years and perhaps even before that. But and certainly over the past 6 months, it's been the most active area in our market. Consistently leading in sales, and we're at 50% of total sales right now. The thing about that area is it's a mix of established communities and new developments, and it appeals to a broad range of buyers. And it's also got some other great things going for it. It's got infrastructure, amenities, and a community feel that just makes it a desirable location. And from a pure density perspective, there are a lot of projects and a lot of product releases in Ottawa South. So it's usually the leader across the board in terms of sales.
When we look at kind of the market share from 2019 to 2024, pretty much the proportions are all kind of the same. And you've kind of talked about already is the South End has always kind of that majority market. When you look at these three numbers from 2019, 2022, 2024, they're virtually the same for the most part, right? So there's a few things to my mind that kind of come out from that. First, the East End is a pretty steady in terms of its proportions, 20, just under 20%. The center, inside the Greenbelt, as we established, is kind of a shrinking share.
Yes.
But it's also the place that has the most built up already. So there's only so many kind of developable pieces of land, right? And
Right.
as you build them, that become, the opportunities become less and less as we kind of go year over
It
year.
used to be
moving
condos
forward.
that would grow that, right? But
Yes.
not so much now, right?
Yeah, at Ottawa, the
Yeah.
condo market of Ottawa is so kind of small, right?
Yeah.
Like Toronto is like 70% condos or something,
Yeah.
and Ottawa is like 20. Like it's like the proportion is just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, to your point, like taller buildings, some more infill, but there's less opportunity,
Correct.
right, for kind of building on the in the central going in there. And then the real items of location is how strong basically the only movement is between west and south, right? Like that last bit of proportion. Everything else is kind of steady, and then it'll shift Canada to Barrhaven 5 points here and there, sort of as we kind of go through the data. When Canada gets hotter, sort of what's drawing people out that way?
Canada?
Yeah.
So actually, the Ottawa West and Canada and Stittsville specifically, it had been quite quiet for a few years. If you go back and look at our new home market reports, you'll see that there were a lot of sites that were sold out, products temporarily sold out for quite some time. But builders have they've been holding the land, and now they're developing the land, and we're seeing a lot of townhome product doing really, really well out in Canada right now. So that has brought that region, so to speak, back to life, because it was quite quiet for some time.
Yeah, and they've made a big push on it as an employment center.
Yes,
right,
absolutely.
with the tech hub and everything else. So it seems
Absolutely.
it would make sense that kind of the housing would follow be a trailer to that.
And there's going to be more housing coming.
Yeah, even within the economic district with the Canada North Park, it's
totally
as they look at that development overall.
Yeah, exactly.
So and as we look at kind of the market share by area in a more comprehensive breakdown year over year, it seems like kind of all those proportions basically hold, right? In terms of the South being the most dominant, everything else. Is there any reason to think that these proportions could shift moving forward? Any reason to think that Barrhaven and South Ottawa, Leitrim are not going to kind of continue this be the place where the most new home offerings are being available?
We haven't identified any trends that are indicating a significant change. Central is central. We're not going to see a lot of growth there. Orleans and Ottawa East they've had low inventory, which has reduced their sales. So we might see a bit of a shift as more inventory comes to market. That area's share will increase a little bit. And where will it take it away from? Anybody's guess, right? The South has always been really strong at bringing new product releases, and Ottawa West South and West have been going gangbusters with new projects. So, I think that overall it's going to be maybe a little bit more the same in terms of the sharing of share across the board, with a little bit more in Ottawa East, I think, as time goes on and more inventory comes to market.
Oh, interesting, because that's kind of been the sleeper of of it all. But okay, fantastic. Anything else about area breakdowns?
No, I think that's a wrap for. Is that what they say? It's a wrap.
Yeah.
For the analysis of product by area and product by type. Yeah.
Fantastic. Cheryl, thanks very much for these insights and this data. Again, you produce this on a monthly basis for those who wish to subscribe. GOHBA and PMA collaborate on sort of a very high-level newsletter on the very highest level of data breakout every month that you can find on GOHBA's website.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell the people where they can get more info from you?
Yeah, PMAOttawa.com. That's our website, and it's Ottawa-centric. All of our available reports are posted there. You'll see what we do, and you can contact me directly through that site as well.
Cheryl, thanks again for this kind of mid-year check-in and the data and the effort that it took to kind of pull it together. And I'm very much looking forward to the next hello goodbye in January 2025, when we can kind of do a summation of what we saw this year and what we can look forward to. Again, as we talked about in the very first discussion, hopefully renewed optimism of a growing market.
Well, and that's I think that's the message here. The market is recovering. I think we have something to look forward to. If this were to be of doom and gloom, I would not have agreed to your invitation. But I think that it's going to be a good market, and we are recovering. And let's look forward to 2025 for sure. Yeah.
Great way to end off. Thanks very much, Cheryl.
You're welcome. Thanks.